In a year that has the Asian Games as well as the Boxing Championships, the Boxing Federation of India has taken some key decisions and they pertain to the selection process. In a complete overall, in consultation with the Director of High Performance, which is Bernard Dunn, the BFI has now taken some concrete measure, and there is a complete shift from how the selection of boxers used to happen, and they've now come up with a new regime. They've come up with a new selection process, and over the next couple of minutes we're going to tell you what exactly this process is going to be like. But what's the gist of it, or what's the key highlight? Well, you read that here. The key highlight in this major shift is that there will be no selection trials for boxers. Why that? Well, we'll be answering that in just a short while, so be with me as we talk you through what this new selection process is going to be like. First things first, it is a major shift in selection policy. This is something that the BFI realized, that now with the changing game, the changing environment, and you've got two big tournaments coming up, after a lot of consultation with the high performance director, which is Bernard Dunn, as we just told you, they have now decided to move to a new selection process, and it's a complete shift from the previous regime, wherein you saw a lot of preference and a lot of priority being given to the trials. And now in this new regime, you will not see any more trials happen. Yes, there is a separate system, a different system that's been put in place, and we're going to be telling you details of that system. Now, what's this system going to be like? There will be focus on evaluation. So an evaluation process will happen for the boxers at the national camp, and this is going to be holding a key as far as the boxers go, because it is only going to depend on how the performance happens at the national camps. Will an evaluation of the players be done? There are going to be parameters as well on which the players will be evaluated, and we'll be talking about that in just a short while. But for now, there is going to be no trials. There is going to be an evaluation process which is going to happen. Now, what happens next? Well, this changes after consultations with the high performance director, as we told you. So all of these changes have been brought in only after due consultation with the high performance director, which is Irishman Bernard Dunn. What else happens here? Now, at these national camps, when you are there, you only get there, remember, depending on how you perform at the national championships. So these national championships, no matter how they go, there is going to be a very close eye that's going to be kept on the boxers, and an evaluation will be done by the high performance staff in these national camps. So even before, in fact, you head to the national camps, the national championships that the boxers will be taking part in assume a lot of significance here, because they will be evaluated basis on that, and when they progress to the national camps, will a thorough evaluation of the players then be held. Now, what else has changed? Well, earlier 4 players from each category were picked, and now in this new regime, now you will see only 3 players being picked. Why that? Well, that's another suggestion that came in from the high performance director. He said that he wants to cut down on the number of players, so he's from 4 players, he brought it down to 3 players, and he says that that's the way he wants to take the sport forward in India. And he was also asked as to why this whole change and why no selection trials. He said, when you're preparing for big tournaments, and the national championships are also big tournaments for that matter, he said having repeat trials also in many ways hampers the progress of the players, and they often get drained out. So in order to preserve energy and to get the best out of the players, he feels that you don't need repeated selection trials. All you need is an evaluation process for the players to take place, which is why you see this change happen. Now, what's going to be the eligibility criteria as far as the evaluation stage is concerned? So, of course, after those first couple of hurdles, when you reach the evaluation stage, these are the parameters on which you're going to be evaluated. Rather, these are the parameters that the board and the staff, the high performance staff, will be keeping in mind, and these are the some of these eligibility criteria that have been put out by the Boxing Federation. Now, what are these criteria? Let's quickly run you through them. First things first, well, you've got to be a medalist of the previous World Championships. That's point number 1. Number 2, in the 2022 Commonwealth Games, you should have gotten a medal. Number 3 is then you probably could be a medalist in the 2022 Asian Championships, followed by the fact that if you're a reigning gold and silver medalist in the elite national championships, that also adds to the eligibility criteria for the evaluation stage. But let's now tell you more about the evaluation stage and what it could possibly look like. There are as many as 6 parameters we've been told on which boxers will be adjudged, but for now let's just talk about the ones that we know. Well, first things first, the performance in training will hold a key as far as this evaluation parameter and the evaluation stage is concerned. Next will be the willingness of the athlete to learn. So a lot of priority will be given on how much the player really wants to learn. That's also one of the criteria that is going to be looked into. Continuous improvement and assessment of technique and skill. Now we know that the game's all about technique and skill. So the willingness to learn and the assessment as far as how much the players have improved will also be holding a key as far as this new regime is concerned, as far as this new selection policy is concerned. So no trials for the boxers, that's the word that's been put out by the Boxing Federation after months and months of consultation with the high performance director Bernard Dunn, and now they've decided that they're not going to be holding any more selection trials. Remember, there's been a lot of controversy in the past with certain players being given preferences, certain players skipping selection trials depending on their past records. But now things have been streamlined and they've been put very clearly out there that there will be no more selection trials. Instead, what you'll do is there will be a pool of players which will be selected from the national championships that will be put through an evaluation process. There will be a national camp where the evaluation will continue, and only after all of these processes are done will the high performance director, the secretary of the Boxing Federation and the coaches then be deciding as to who the players will be to represent India in the big tournaments coming up. Of course, you've got the Olympic Games to look at, but that's still a fair time away. But you've got the Asian Games and the championships, the boxing championships coming up. In fact, the women's boxing championship starts very soon, and you've got the men's boxing championship which will take place later in the year in Uzbekistan. We hope you like this video. Let us know what you have to feel about this new selection process. Do you think it works for India? It doesn't work for India? Let us know in the comment section below. For now, my name is Harshit Ahuja. Thank you so much for watching this video.